Hi everyone, I'm Eefje and today I want to talk to you about challenging yourself to reading a set amount of books during a year. I have been setting myself a Goodreads challenge for the last couple of years, and this year I have managed to read 51 books and I challenged myself to read 50, so yay me. I really enjoy using Goodreads to track my reading and to have a good idea of what I'm reading in a year and how many different kinds of books I'm reading. And I also like to challenge myself, so I employed a Goodreads challenge where you can set how many books you want to read in a year and then see, and then it'll tell you whether you're on track or not. So ever since I started using Goodreads, I've been giving myself a challenge. For the most years, I've set it on 40 books and managed that quite nicely. I know in 2013 I tried to read 50 books and I managed 45. And it is still really annoying me that when you go to my Goodreads profile, it doesn't actually show 2013 in the little dust challenges because I didn't make it. And I don't care that I didn't make it. I still think that 45 is a very nice number, so I'd like it to be in there, and that annoys me a lot. But other than that, I've kept it at 40 for most years, and then in 2015 I read 72 books. So I figured for 2016 I could set it to 50, which I did, and which I've gotten to now. But for 2017, I think I'm going to set my challenge to 30 books, which is a lot lower. Because I've noticed this past year that I have been a bit too focused on making sure I got my goal. And I've skipped those books on my to-read shelves that I knew would take a lot of time to read because they're big books, or just because I don't think it'll be the type of book that I will be able to read quickly. Of course, the books I did read, even though they were smaller, they were still worthwhile books, but I do think that it's good to read both types of books that are quick reads and books that are slow reads. And I have a couple of books on my shelves that I really want to get to in the next year. So this is the year where I'm not going to be too focused on the challenge and I'm going to try and read some heavier books. So here are the books I want to get to in 2017 that will take me quite some time to read. Arcadia by Ian Pierce. I actually tried to read this book in the beginning of 2016, but I was still on painkillers for my back then, and it was not the type of book I could read in that state, so I put it away again. I'm actually really excited for this book, so I think this will be the first of the big books that I'll read in 2017. In this book there are different worlds that are connected. It does sound a bit like an adult version of his Dark Materials, but I'm going to try and not compare it to that when I really start reading this, because I feel I should judge it on its own merit. Now, I also want to get to The Luminaries by Eleanor Catton. Now, this is a really big book. It won the Man Booker in 2013, yes, and it sounds like the type of book I will really enjoy. It's about mysteries and secret groups of people trying to solve crimes. And I'm just going to read you the blurb. It's 1866, and Walter Moody has come to make his fortune upon the New Zealand goldfields. On the night of his arrival, he stumbles across a tense gathering of 12 local men who have met in secret to discuss a series of unsolved crimes. Moody is soon drawn into the mystery, a network of fates and fortunes that is as complex and exquisitely patterned as the night sky. How awesome is that? I've had this for quite some time, and every time I'm looking at the shelves of my to-read books, I keep thinking, oh, I want to pick that up, but I don't know whether I can have the time for it now, because I do feel that you need to, really dig in a book like this and take the time. So I'm going to try and make time for it this year. Another book I want to get to in 2017 is The Book of Strange New Things by Michel Faber. Now, it's not as big as The Luminaries, but I still think this will be a book that I will need to set some time apart for. It's about a man who goes through the stars to a different world to tell them about Jesus and religion or something, and his wife who stays behind, and their relationship and the way they communicate. For all I know, it might be written in a way that I will go through it really quickly, but it still has been a book that I opted to not take off my shelf because of how big it is. Oh, shiny. I also have The Bone Clocks by David Mitchell. I've had this book for ages now. I got it a year and a half ago for my birthday, because some friends of mine gave me a book voucher, and they gave me a list of titles that I was allowed to choose from today. And this was on there, and I know they really like it, and I don't know all that much about it, but I know I really want to read some David Mitchell. And I picked it because the cover was really pretty. So let's say I want to read this before my birthday, in summer, because by then it'll have been on my shelves for 2 years, and I think I should have finished it. And last but not least, The Pleasures of the Damned by Charles Bukowski. Now this is his collected poems, and I've never read any Bukowski before. I really want to, but I know I read poetry a lot slower than I do novels. So having so much of it in one book, I know this will take me a lot of time to read in its entirety, and I do want to read the entire thing. So let's just say that I will start on this book in 2017, and we'll see where it goes from there. I have been trying to get more into poetry, because for the longest time I always thought that English poetry was something that was a bit too difficult for me, that I just didn't connect with it very well, but then I realized I just wasn't trying with the right poets. And I've since found a couple that I basically inhaled because I like them so much. And I want to look into some of the classics a bit more. Let's see what I feel about Bukowski. So those are some of the books that I will start to read in 2017. They'll probably take me quite some time. Let me know in the comments if you've got some books that you haven't started on, even though you want to read them, just because you feel that it'll take too much time, or you just can't muster up the time investment in this moment. And if you do a Goodreads challenge, how do you feel that affects your reading choices? I'm going to finish drinking my tea now. Bye!